Finally, it's time. Well, it's been over 1 month now since I posted this video, and today is the day. Today is a 2,000 subscriber Q&A special. I've been really looking forward to this Q&A since the last time I did one. I had so much fun answering you guys' questions, and now it's time to do it again. Like last time, I'll be reading through all the comments on that video and answering them to the best of my knowledge, and oh boy, so you guys really hit it out of the park with the amount of questions you all have. So, without further ado, let's get started on this Q&A special for 2,000 subscribers. So, this first question comes from Luca 5665, and they ask, what type of Valve gear do you like? How does it feel to be in a moderator in Steam and Steel? Also, how do you get to see new maps that Greg makes or locomotives, etc.? And 3, what is your favorite LEGO set? Well, to start with number 1, it's Stevenson's. I don't know why I like Stevenson's Valve gear so much. I guess I just like how compact it is inside, and like, I kind of like how it spins around the axle. It's a very weird thing, but I don't know, it's just kind of one of my favorite Valve gears. Number 2, honestly, being a moderator in Steam and Steel is a bit boring sometimes. There really isn't much that goes on. Most of the times it's just us watching the channels, interacting with the community, making sure nothing chaotic happens, and all that stuff. And how do we get to see new maps that Greg makes? Well, he generally pings us and invites us to join him on private servers that he sets up, and we just get to goof around and explore what he has. And number 3, what is your favorite LEGO set? I'd have to say the Horizon Express. I've always liked the TGV, and when that set came out, I was really excited. I got that set, I think, like, for my 10th birthday, if I recall. And, yeah, since then, it's just one of my favorite sets of all time. I really should rebuild it one day. The next question comes from Train B0I, and they ask, Q&A question number 1. What is it like being a Roblox dev? Number 2, if you could change one thing about Steam and Steel, what would it be? Number 3, will you make another video about dead Roblox train games? Number 4, what is your favorite locomotive? It can be fictional or real, I don't really mind. And number 5, what do you think would make a good train game on Roblox? Well, to start your first question, what is it like being a Roblox game developer? It can be sometimes a bit stressful, sometimes a bit boring, sometimes exciting. It honestly depends. If you're burned out, it's kind of just a drag to try to work on a model that you really don't want to work on. But if you're motivated, it can be really fun. As for number 2, if you could change one thing about Steam and Steel, what would it be? I would probably change... That's actually a good question. You know, I would probably... Hey, this is a hard one. I honestly think I would probably change how some of the locomotives look, and how, honestly, some of the choices, like, I know Greg can do what he likes and stuff, but, like, I feel like a lot of the choices, like, I feel like specifically the A1 and A2 classes just, I mean, the A1 class is fine enough, but the A2 class just feels kind of like just the A0, but without, well, not A0, but, like, the original A class without bunkers. I'd kind of like them to bring that back, but, honestly, some other stuff I would like to do is probably have some more varied diversity of locomotives instead of just everything just being more European. Maybe add some more American or even British style locomotives, but you know, that's just my idea. Number 3, will you make another video about dead Roblox train games? I might in the future. If I find enough dead Roblox train games that are popular enough, I will definitely want to be making a video on that. Number 4, what's your favorite locomotive? In real life, it is the F59 PHI, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong. And fictional, I'd have to say old style Elmira from Summer Wales, the 040 variant. I don't know why, I just really like how she looks. Like, it just feels right to me. I can't answer why, it just looks right. And as for number 5, what do you think would make a good train game on Roblox? Honestly, it's a bit subjective. In my opinion, a good train game is one that has a lot of stuff to do, a lot of varied space, a lot of interesting things to find, good detail, good music on the locomotives, and good varied variety of rolling stock. Honestly, Wales is a pretty good example of what I would say would make a good train or Roblox train game. This next question comes from Dynamo _11, and they ask, number 1, are there going to be more Steam and Steel Let's Plays? Number 2, is there going to be more Summer Wales content? Number 3, do you have a lot of model layout? If so, what's your favorite model locomotive? Number 4, what's your favorite BFDI season? If so, what's your favorite BFDI character? So, for number 1, I probably will do more Steam Steel Let's Plays when we get the new Amphrite maps. I don't know how many I will do, since the Hazel Sierra map, well, I could have continued that series. I just didn't see much of a reason to. It just kind of felt like I was just dragging out a dead series that had its peak on the first episode, and ever since then was kind of just falling behind. Number 2, is it going to be more Summer Wales content? 100% yes. With the new update that probably has come out by the time this video is out, there's going to be so many new videos. Number 3, do you have a model layout, and if so, what's your favorite model locomotive? I don't have a layout per se. I collect model locomotives, and admittedly, I have to say my favorite model locomotive out of all of the ones I have is probably P42 DC number 47 and N scale from Kato, just simply due to the fact that that actual unit is a dead unit that got wrecked, which I think is pretty cool. I actually think I got the model before the wreck happened, so it's actually kind of cool that I have what I like to call a dead unit. And number 4, what's your favorite BFDI season? If so, what's your favorite BFDI character? My favorite season at BFDI is pre-hiatus BFDI A. I just really like how it went. Everything just flowed really well. Everything was goofy. Everything felt correct. It just felt fun. And for my favorite BFDI character, I'd have to say Bubble. She's kind of struggled a bit and kind of suffered from, well, being unfairly eliminated in BFB 22. But I really think she's a solid character overall. I like her accent a lot. And the fact she got number 3, and you know, I just really like Bubble in general. This question comes from Neil's Son the Great, and they ask, number 1, what was the longest train ever pulled on your Steam and Steel railway? Number 2, what is your favorite engine from Steam and Steel? Number 3, what is your favorite Roblox train game so far? So to answer the first question, I think the longest train I ever pulled was, I think on my railway may have been like a 10-20 car train. On other railways I pulled like 25-30 car trains, although maybe not 25 cars. I think 20 cars is like the max I've ever considered going, just because after a while it just becomes too long to even bother pulling. For number 2, what is my favorite engine from Steam and Steel? N-Class. Number 3, what is your favorite Roblox train game so far? Summer Wales all the way. Like, nothing will beat Summer Wales. It's my favorite train game of all time on Roblox. This next question comes from Lawrence Lee Lim 1162, and they ask, number 1, how many did you crash your engine? Number 2, what is the most used engine on your railway? Number 3, what is your next idea for your railway? To answer number 1, probably, I don't know, it's kind of varied. I'm probably gonna say the J2 because that's the one I use most often, but I guess the B class is also technically one, since I technically do own the B class. That one definitely has been wrecked quite a few times thanks to Delete. Number 2, what is the most used engine on your railway? Probably the B class again, because back when the railway used to be alive, that was the main engine that Delete used, and since I technically bought that engine for a video and I just gave it to him, I consider it to still be the most used engine on my railway. Number 3, what is your next idea for your railway? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really want to work on track work, or I don't really want to change it up that much, just because it is it's my first railway ever, and it's kind of a nice historic artifact of showing what the railway used to be, and I kind of slowly upgrade it whenever a new update comes out and we get new stuff, so you know, I could just show off the new features. So I don't really think I'll be doing much of it, to be honest. The next question comes from TreyHead23, and they ask, congrats on the 2K, I hope your channel continues to grow. So, my questions are, number 1, out of all the train games you've played, what are your top 3? Number 2, what is your opinion on talking trains on YouTube? And number 3, if you were offered a voice role on one of said talking train series, would you accept it? Keep to the good work and have a good one. First of all, thank you so much for congratulating me, and I really hope this channel does continue to grow. Now, for your questions. First, for number 1, my top 3 favorite train games on Roblox are Summer Wales, Steam and Steel, and High Iron. Number 2, what is your opinion on talking trains on YouTube? I think they do it pretty well most of the time. I personally have done a few talking train series of my own, specifically Game Test the Killer and the Summer Wales movies, and honestly, I feel like if you do it correctly and don't make it, I mean, like, it honestly depends on what you consider correctly or not. In my opinion, I think Thomas stories are pretty good exploration, specifically, you know, like, well-rounded Thomas stories, not like those weird ones that, like, were made with, like, CBR Thomas, or, like, there was, like, a 2-hour movie I was forced to watch once, which was, like, something related to Thomas and Lady. You guys probably wouldn't know that. Maybe I'll try to find a picture of it somewhere, but that one, I mean, it was decent, but, like, definitely a weird plot. And as for number 3, if I were offered a voice role on one of said talking trains, would I accept it? Probably not, no. This is an interesting fact about me, but I really do not like voice acting for other people's show. I can do it fine for my own stuff. I can, record my own stuff. I think that's fine enough. But when it comes to voice acting for other people's stuff, I just really don't like it, because I really just don't like listening back to myself in these videos and be like, ugh, I could have done so much better with this role. Why did I not do this or that? Why did I keep messing up my lines? I'm just not a fan of, voice acting for other people's stuff. This next question comes from Allosaurus Slash, and let's just say he has a lot of questions. To basically give them context on what happened, on why he has so many questions. A few weeks ago, I had posted this in our DM, and I was like, hey, hey, if you guys have any questions, you should ask it now, because, new video. Reason why is because Allo, back in the day when I had 1,000 subscribers, was hoping that we'd do a Q&A, because he was hoping to have some questions for me, but we did the live stream instead. And now I was like, hey, look, we have a Q&A, you can ask him questions now. And he was like, yeah, I guess so. It's like, and I was like, if you want to ask some questions, you can. He was like, okay, I will. He proceeds to ask 19 questions. So thank you, Allo, you've made this video way longer than it probably needed to be. Anyway, let's get started on this. So, hi, UC. Time to spam you with questions. Lol. I'm just gonna answer these all in succession. Like, I'm not gonna answer them, ask all the questions and then answer them one by one. I'm just gonna answer them one by one right now. So, the first question he has is, what is the best era of Roblox train games? 2006 to 2014, 2015 to 2020, or 2021 to 2025? It's honestly subjective. Like, all of these eras I think are pretty cool. You have the early era with NXT style and all that thing. The mid-size era where everything was starting to get a bit more realistic, but still kind of held on to that more low budget, not low quality, but not as detailed. And then you have the more higher than the modern detail era. I'd probably have to say 2015 to 2020, since that's when I started playing Roblox, and honestly, that's when I played most of those Roblox train games. Although I played a lot of 2021 to 2025, but those were mostly games from said era. Number 2, what is your personal favorite game that you have made so far? Roll-scale British Railway. Honestly, out of the 3 that I've made that are technically games that actually are successes, Roll-scale British Railway is probably my favorite, just because I actually made some pretty good locomotives, such as that ADR 262T, and I guess the BR class DMUs. I thought those were pretty good. Number 3, is it mainly nostalgia, gameplay, experience, or aesthetics that keeps you drawing you back to Wales? It's actually the community. Honestly, I've been in the Wales community for so long that it's kind of my second home. So why stop playing the game? Because it's my community. I wake up every morning, I do all the stuff I need to do, then I hop onto the server, and that's the first server. I'm like, good morning, everybody. That last server I say, good night. That's just how things go, and it's kind of just my home. It's what I like to do. Number 4, are there any plans for a return to Spio Studios or more cinematic videos? Actually, yes. I am actually planning on making a new movie based on Genevieve trying to act like Game Tez from Game Tez the Killer, except she doesn't do well because she's Genevieve and she can never be Game Tez. The current working title is Genevieve the Menace. I've been told it's a bad title, so, might get a new title in the future, but I haven't written the script yet, but I'm really hoping that I can get this thing off the ground and release, because I think it would be an epic finale to the Spy House Studios, just overall. Number 6, if Roblox websites farts and spontaneously combust again for a whole week, what would you do? I would probably do the same thing I did last time it did this, except on a worse scale, because I'm gonna have nothing to play. Oh, I would lose it. I would be so bored with nothing to do. Number 7, are there any inspiration for your Roblox avatars? If so, what are they? Well, a few of them I do have a few inspirations for, like, the Sir UC Des one, which is based on Sir Topham Hat. I needed that one for what Neon's, I think, because Neon was trying to do a, the Great Locomotive Chase in Retro Western, but that never panned out. Other ones I have are like, I have a Henry Stickmin one, which is based off Charles, because greatest plan, why not? I have one called Mr. Robot, I think, or like Mr. Formal Robot, that's based off like that one Roblox robot avatar. I think his name is Mr. Bot. but he's kind of like a more formal variation because of that new UGC item, not UGC, that new Roblox item I got from the Hunt Mega Edition. Most of the avatars, though, are kind of just built off my original 4 avatars I made back in, like, 2017 when I first really started to care about Roblox after, like, I think that first big, like, I think it was Roblox Eggs 2017, the Lost Eggs. I think that's when it started to get bigger. Let's see. Number 8. What are your frustrations to have a content creator? Burnout. I have so much burnout whenever I'm making videos. It's like, I'm ready to make this video, I'm doing it, and then boom, no motivation, no nothing, kind of just sits there, open up, I open up iMovie, I click on it a few times, add maybe 1 or 2 scenes, and then don't touch it for like a week. It's so annoying. I really want to have a more consistent, less burned out attitude when making videos. Between Roscale and Free Drive VS2 type games, what type of games do you prefer creating? I'd probably have to say Roscale, just because it's easier building the smaller scale without that has to have much detail. Like, I know that there's definitely some massive detail, like Very Stupid Stickman. He makes some amazingly detailed Roscale stuff. For me, though, I kind of just like building a more pseudo detail. Like, I like adding detail to it, but I don't like adding too much detail to the point where it's basically just a large scale model sized down. While VS2 is fun because it's a lot easier to rig and doesn't really require much math, it is kind of just more tedious because I know I have to put more detail into it. Like this Manning Wardle I've been working on for an entire year, which is still not done, and I really need to get that thing done because it's nearly a year old. Let's see. Next is, if you had to migrate to a new source of content outside of Roblox train games, what would it be? That's a good question. Honestly, I will probably just have to start doing stuff on Steam, like Railroad Online, or maybe not Railroad Online, no one likes that one. Probably like Railroaders, like Train Sim Worlds, Trains New Air, like Trains. I'd probably have to start migrating to doing those instead, which I don't really want to because my channel's built off Roblox, but, you know, I guess that'd be, you know, worth it. Has the charm of Roblox games, specifically ones between 2015 and 2020, been lost in newer ones? If so, why? I think the thing with 2015 to 2020 games is that it's mostly just nostalgia for a lot of people, especially me. Like, I play those old games and I'm like, man, I remember back when these games were popular and there was actually people in there. But then when the games get updated, truthfully, sometimes I kind of get annoyed because it's like, they changed everything, they ruined everything. I kind of just get mad. Like, I hate to say this, but like the work in progress railway update, I kind of didn't like that. There's more reasons why I didn't like that, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of have a bit of a problem of like accepting like I like the past, but I don't like it when the past is touched and edited. I like it when, I don't know. I'm a very weird person like that. But I'd have to say that like it's mostly just nostalgia value. Well, though in some cases it actually like the older games were significantly more fun than the new games. But you know, most of the times it's really just nostalgia value. If you had to send one Whales engine to the depths of hell and re-add one currently removed engine, who would they be? Whew, that's a hard question. I like all the Whales engines, so like that's one I can't really do much. Like none of the Whales engines I really want to destroy or like hate on because they're all perfectly fine engines. They're all massively favorite ones. But if there's one I probably could remove, I'd probably have to say, is this really difficult? Probably, do I want to choose him? Probably like Dylan, I guess. I mean, he has been massively updated and he's like a lot cooler, but like I guess I'd be fine living without him. And as for one engine I could re-add, I'd probably have to say Game Test, even though I know Genevieve is supposed to be Game Test replacement. They're not the same engine, and I personally like Game Test more. Like, seriously, like I like the horn, I like the heaviness. He was a fun locomotive to use. Let's see. What YouTube videos are you most proud of, and vice versa? I'd have to say probably the YouTube video I'm most proud of is probably one of the Dead Roblox Train Game series, just because those came out really well and I honestly really liked them. A video I'm not so proud of is probably ranking all the rolling stock and several veils video. I recently rewatched that one, and oh my goodness, the voiceover is horrible in that one. Since I was using an old $20 mic back then. In fact, I still have the mic. I'm using it for my camera now. But I had an old mic back then, and basically the audio was so low that I would pitch up the audio in iMovie, and doing that corrupts the, like, kind of causes the audio to become like more crunchy, and honestly gets more distorted, like not distorted, just gets more annoying to listen to. It's probably the video I don't like the least, and I really am hoping to remake in the future, especially when this new Wales update comes out. What do you believe was the most significant year of the Roblox training community so far? I'd probably have to say 2021 to 2022. Actually, no, 2023. That was probably that was the biggest year, since that was the year that Steam's Deal came out, and Steam's Deal has been a huge game. Like, seriously, there was no other Roblox train game like that where you could just build a whole railway. Or if there was, I just didn't know about it. Let's see. Do you create videos based off a schedule on your own personal whim, or is it a mix of both? I tried to schedule some videos, like if there's a Steam Steel video and it's like a reviewing the map, I try to get it out generally the next day after it's made. If it's like a but most of the time, most of the videos are just made on a whim and they don't really have a schedule, unless it's like one of like the unless it's, say, for example, like the end of the year videos. I always try to get those out before December 31st, or I guess on December 31st, but try to get them out like a few hours before midnight, so, you know, people can have time to watch it. Let's see. Do you have a whale spirit animal? I mean train. I'm not really into spirit animals or whatnot, but like if I have to say an engine that I would absolutely love to have in real life would probably be Richmond. Would you believe that the most, let's see, on YouTube, do you believe that that quality or quantity generates more success? And to what extent have you experimented with both? I'd have to say quality generates way more success. I kind of experiment with both doing lots of videos and doing quality videos. I've kind of discovered that a good middle ground is like, I make a bunch of Steam and Steel content as like filler content. It's kind of like barely edited together, and most of the times it's just me reviewing a map or someone's railway or something like that, and I honestly think that's, I think that's just a really good way to make quantity. And then for the quality videos, I like to generally use stuff like the Engine of Summer Wales, because that is more the quality. That's what I put my more effort in, and that's the one that generally gets the more views. It's kind of just like a stopgap of, I make all this filler content so people can be expecting and be excited for the new stuff. I'll rank all the Wales engines by their soundtrack and track, including the old songs. This is a threat. Oh boy, okay, I'll just put up a ranking list right now, because I don't really have time to rank every engine based off their soundtrack. Are there any plans to create a new free drive game like Yorkshire State Railway? What would be the necessary conditions that would lead to the creation of one? If there is one free drive, honestly, the issue of doing free drive for me is that it's just really hard to come up with a map design. If I were to do a new free drive game, I would need to actually hire someone to actually do map work and track work well, because I'm more of a engineer. I'm more of the person who likes to build the rolling stock locomotives. I would need someone else to take care of track work and just map work in general, because it's like Yorkshire State Railway was supposed to be a completely different game. Like, there was never supposed to be a well, there was supposed to be a port at one point, but it was also supposed to be more of a there was also supposed to be like a lake house up in the mountains past the mine, but that just never came out to be. And honestly, how that game ended up with all the changes, the game just lost most interest for me, and I just had no reason to do it anymore. Will there be more Tohu remixes? Probably yes. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's all the questions for Mallow, and you boy, you had a lot. This next question is considerably shorter, and it comes from TrainBoy2238. They ask, question 1, will the Steam Steel devs add any new content? Question 2, how did you become rich in the Coal Valley map, Steam Steel related? So, for question 1, I would assume yes. I don't know, I'm not Greg, and Greg mostly just posts what... Greg does post some stuff in one of the chats, but I don't think I'm really allowed to say. As for question 2, how did I become rich? I just did a lot of deliveries back in the day, and I kind of just racked up a lot of cash. Since I had other friends who did railway building and whatnot, so I didn't have to deal with that. I just had friends to do that. This next question comes from Golden Hexagon 7, and they say, "Your new subscriber here. First of all, thank you. Number 1, have you ever played Fortnite or Overwatch 2? Number 2, have you ever had green spaghetti and fried chicken ham with cheese? And number 3, have you ever had a PlayStation before? To answer the first question, no, I have not played Overwatch 2 or Fortnite before. I've seen my friends play Fortnite and Overwatch 2, but me personally, I've never played it. I'm a TF2 fan. Number 2, have you ever had a green spaghetti and fried chicken ham with cheese? I've had green eggs before, like, years ago on, like, one St. Patrick's Day, but I can't say that I've had green spaghetti and fried chicken ham with cheese. I've had all that, but not green. Have you ever had a PlayStation before? Actually, I have. I have a PlayStation 3 from my, grandma. I don't really use it much. It kind of just sits in the corner of my desk collecting dust. I'll put up a photo here, but, yeah, I have a PlayStation. This next question comes from Bjorge Gush, and they ask, congratulations. First of all, thank you. Question 1, what is your least favorite Steam and Steel engine? Question 2, what is your all-time favorite locomotive? So, for question 1, what is my least favorite Steam and Steel engine? Probably the A2 class, just because it looks so much like the A class, but it needs a tender, and I just feel like, at that point, just give it coal. Just give it coal bunkers, man, at that point. Question 2, what is your all-time favorite locomotive? Well, I already said the F59 PHI, so I guess another contender would be like probably Southern Pacific 4449 because it's in a daylight livery, and I'm pretty sure it used to run on the daylight route, which is pretty cool because that ran right in my city. Didn't stop in my city because back then it was just a freight depot, but still cool to know that it ran by my city at one point. These next two questions comes from Demina Chloe 453, and they ask, number 1, can you ask Greg Tang when will the Steam and Steel update? And number 2, will Greg finally add the KNDSD to the Steam and Steel? And there's your answers. This question comes from TeleGoTech583, and they ask, question, what's your favorite Steam and Steel engine? The J2 class, or the N class, it depends on how I'm feeling that day. This next question comes from Trainman9005, and they ask, how did you find Steam and Steel, and what were your thoughts when you first played the game, and your thoughts on it now? So, I actually found out about Steam and Steel from a few of my friends posting pictures of it in, I think Wales Gaming back in 2023, and I was really intrigued about it. I think I had heard about the game back in January of that year when I saw when I think one of the Wales devs posted a tweet of I think it was Train Awesome. He posted a tweet of the Greg showing off the G-Class running. I didn't think much of it, but when I first decided to try out, I absolutely loved the game. I loved the fact you could build your own railway. It was like so surreal for me. And what are my thoughts on it now? It's still okay. Honestly, that whole magic of you could build your own railway in Roblox, wow, this is amazing, kind of fallen off. I mean, I played the game so much, it's kind of like cool, I guess. I mean, I like driving the trains more than building the maps, to be honest. This next question comes from help, and they ask, what is your favorite loco in Summer Wales, and do you ever play games of Roblox called Railroads? So, to answer the first question, I initially, Richmond is my favorite locomotive, but another favorite of mine would be Wannabe. And I have never played Railroads. I'm not really into F3X games like that, but maybe I'll try it out one day. This next question comes from Camera1 Bert4454, and they ask, since you're a BFDI fan, what are your thoughts on seasons like BFB, Teapot, or post-hiatus BFDI? BFB, I really enjoyed the first half and the second half, until Bubble got eliminated, but I still really enjoyed both halves. I really like how they kind of revitalized the series. I think 4 and X are excellent hosts, and I think all the character dynamics were really good, especially the Book dynamic. I really liked how Book started to, even though she became kind of a really horrible character because of what happened with Taco, I still like that she finally recognized that and she's starting to get over that. I really like in Teapot how this is even more eccentric and how she's actually starting to move on from Ice Cube and Free Smart and actually finding new friends, especially finding friends in like Price Tag. I really love that dynamic. I love what you're doing in Teapot. It's such a good series. I kind of hate post-hiatus BFDIA. I feel like they just ruined the entire series. Like, pre-hiatus, everything just fit together. It was a bit goofy, yes, but it wasn't out of the top insane plots. Post-hiatus, it just feels like nothing makes sense half the time. First of all, you got this whole Crusher thing, and then I think the thing that really ticked me off of it was when Ruby kept going about a yo-yo toilet, and I was like, How does this make sense of anything related to BFDI? What's a Yoil toilet and what's the point of it? And I think the whole hell scene was also pretty terrifying because it was like, yeah, how does this fit into BFDI? Does this mean that there is a hell in BFDI? Is there what is going on anymore? And it's just everything just started to make less and less sense. I did like the Kevin McLeod reference. Like, I liked that he was included. That was cool. But like, post-hiatus BFDI makes no sense half the time, and especially how Pin has become, like, my goodness, she has become a monster. Especially drilling in the book, like, that was brutal. Poor Book. I hope she wins the season, like, seriously. She's suffering so much, she's just trying her best. This question comes from Spudman-V7K, and their questions are, favorite and least favorite Roblox Thomas games, favorite Summer Whales engine, thoughts on the Tugs, Has-Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, and any shows you like, favorite YouTubers, favorite interests besides Summer Whales and Steam and Steel. So, for the first question, my favorite and least favorite Roblox Training Thomas games are probably going to be, I really liked Nowhere Railways, or I guess before it used to be called, like, I think it was like called the Island of Soda. I forgot what the name was, but it was the one made by Loft Games that has like all the CGI model stuff. My least favorite is probably going to have to be that's a good question, actually. I'm probably gonna go with something like one of the Speedy Skip games. Like, they're all really low quality. Except maybe Golden Galaxy, but even then I now realize, not the greatest, and besides, Speedy Skip isn't a good person. Favorite Summer Whales engine? Well, I already mentioned Richmond and Wannabe, so I'm probably gonna go with Eustace next. I think he's a pretty cool engine. Thoughts on Tugs, Has-Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, and any shows you like? Tugs, I really like. I think I like it better than Thomas in some cases. I haven't watched Has-Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss. I don't really like Has-Been Hotel, specifically of whatever happened with that whole situation. I don't know what the situation was, but whatever that one situation, I don't like it. And other shows I like, well, I like Phineas and Ferb. I like, yeah, I think that's really bad, bitch. About it. I really haven't watched much TV back in the day. Let's see, thoughts on favorite YouTubers. Well, let's see, I like Amtrak Guy 365, Dan TDM, Thunderbolt 1000 Siren Productions, Sam's Trains, Boy Life Hobby, Jago Hazard. What other YouTubers are there? Give me a second. Let's see. Let's see, I also like Airline Designs, Unlucky Tugs, Whack World, Tackle to the People, Mustard, Ed Pratt, Peter Schreepel, Generation Tech, Alternate History, Phoenix SC, The Mr. Epic, Chopo, Train of Thought, Failboat, on some cases, Green Lego Cats, Jake Eyes, Thomas Furist, Jack and Jellyfy, Seaman Flip, pretty cool stuff, Paper Skies, one of my favorites, Ocean Line Design, Fish Whisperer, Nathaniel Landy, Jimmy Lambert, especially Jimmy Lambert. I love the Tea and Moonshine series. PSI Verweeder, Yoil Cake Michael, pretty good stuff. Radix Flipnote, PS3 Tronic, half as interesting. Mark Felton, although I don't really watch him that much. Jack Bonotic, the guy who does like those Robotnik cosplays. Terminal Montage, Level Up, Tetrabit Gaming, It's History. Sky Ronin, especially with all the Half-Life stuff. I love his Half-Life videos. They're so in depth. Let's see. We have Chopo Twopo, Nebula Games. Although actually, forget about Nebula Games. Callum. Who are you? I don't know. Brady Bradwood. I say Nation Squid, Terror, not the Foo Fighters, Michael MJD, Yugi Studios, Mumbo Jumbo, Neonlitz, the Michael Hittox Films, Wendover Production, Mr. Fudge Monkey, Blue Television Games, Alexander Studios, especially with his Lego animations, greatest stuff ever, Shovelware Studios, well, not that much anymore, Big Place is pretty cool, GSHN28, Crafty Fox, Carrie KH, Nano MG, back when he actually used to make videos, Nintendo, Squared Media, back when it was Black Plasma. I don't really like new rebranding. Let's see, I also did Nathaniel Bandy, Mr. Crayfish, Exploding TNT, Purple Jet, Pink Sheep, QB, back when he was actually alive, Amphenom, Element Animation, and Magma Museum. That's pretty much, I'm pretty sure that's all the subscribers I have, and those are probably some of my favorite shit, like all of them are pretty much it. I know it's a long list, but you know. Favorite interests besides Summer Whales and Steam and Steel? Well, I like playing Jailbreak, Tower Defense Simulator, The Wild West, Playing Crazy, Greenville, and Pilot Flight Train Simulator. I only really play those last 3 if I'm really bored and I want to do something, and I'm not really want to play Jailbreak or TDS, but yeah, those are some of my favorite games I like to play besides Wales and Steam and Steel. The next question comes from Panic Titan, and they ask, "Hello, congrats. I have one question, and sorry if it's already been answered, if it's okay or obvious. Steam, diesel, or electric trains?" Diesel. I've always liked diesel locomotives. Steam trains are really cool, and electrics are also cool, but diesels are the best locomotives. One of my favorite types of locomotive classes. I just like diesels. I've grown up around diesels. Diesels are just like the main thing I'm interested in. This next question comes from TamG6W, and they ask, "What was the first train model you made? Now do you see it as garbage or peak?" The first model I technically made on my own was, I think it was a flat, like if we're talking about like full-scale models, then the first one I made was Pog, which was like a joke model. But like first like 2-foot locomotive that I actually built out of diagrams, that would be Ike, the Kerr Stewart diesel from Yorkshire State Railway. Looking back at it, Pog it's not that great. It was very bad for a time, and it's still pretty bad today. Ike, I think, still holds up pretty well. Now as for row scale, the first proper row scale model I think I ever built was like a SD40-2 in Rio Grande livery. I did a few edits of a few other locomotives, but that SD40-2, it's okay. Like, I could do better these days, and I have done better. I'm not 100% sure which one was my first model. I'd have to go back and dig through some of the old TCs, but yeah, that's pretty much what I have so far. The next question comes from Hugo Thomas 1199, and they ask, "What is your opinion on your older videos?" It honestly depends on which older videos you're talking about. I personally like a lot of them because I feel like for the time, they were pretty decent. Like the first ever videos I ever made of the Funny Cat series, I kind of like watching them because like it's nice to look back and see how I started. Other videos like my first Summer Wales video, I still think is pretty decent and actually is a pretty good archive of 2020 Wales before it got like massively updated with work. And honestly, like most of the other videos are just really nice archives and great places to find random stuff. Like I think one time Term asked me to find like an image of like a Pennsylvania Railroad T1 they ran in Wales one point, so I managed to grab that from one of the old videos, which was pretty cool and pretty neat that I have like these basically archives. As for my old movies, well, I honestly think a lot of them are pretty good, and for the time, they are still really good overall. Like, I really do enjoy watching Game Tends to Killer once in a while, sure, it's not the greatest looking, voice acting, and maybe the script wasn't that good, but it was, for the time, pretty impressive. This next question comes from Seaboard544, and they ask, "Will you ever do an updated Summer Wales engines ranking, and when did you first start playing Summer Wales?" To answer the first question, yes, I am 100% doing an updated Summer Wales ranking video. Since the new update is coming out, or is out by the time this video comes out, there is going to be plenty of new engines we're going to be added, and oh boy, I'm going to rank them all, because that video is sorely needing an update. And as for the second one, I believe I started playing around late February 2020. I have some screenshots that show me in the mines. They're dated around February 27th. I can't confirm when I first started playing it, but I definitely did start playing it around late February, early March of 2020. This next question comes from Frisco2054, and they ask, "What is your favorite number of the alphabet?" 5. The next question comes from the NXT_fan2139, and they ask, "Favorite Val game?" Also, hi UC. Well, first off, hello the NXT fan. Second question, what is my favorite Val game? Half-Life 2. I don't know, I just really like playing through it, and recently I've been doing a whole live stream playing through the entire game, and honestly, I think it's just a pretty good game overall. Like, it has some pretty good stuff in it. Like, I love the mechanic. Like, it still holds up really well to this day. It's still fun to shoot the Combine, blow up the Striders, and blow up the Mario heads, if you know what I mean. This next question comes from Daminakoliwa453. Oh, it looks like they ask a second question. Well, I guess I'll allow that. And their second question is, what's your favorite broad gauge locomotive? To answer that, I'd have to say it's Iron Duke, the replica, I guess. I don't know, I guess I just really like how Iron Duke looks. It's kind of a cool looking broad gauge engine. This next question comes from Trainboy7812, and they ask, in Steam and Steel, what is your least favorite wheel configuration and or engine? Mine is the K2. Well, mine's is probably going to be the J1, and that's just simply due to the fact that it just doesn't really work as a tender engine. It would be way better as like a tank engine, and honestly I would have loved if it was a tank engine, but the 044 wheel design is just, it's just it doesn't sit right with me for some reason. I can't explain why. It just doesn't look right to me. This next question comes from Lego Gabe 16, and they ask, blue or red? Well, that honestly depends on what the context is. If it's Arsenal, blue. If it's TF2, it's red. If it's just color in general, blue. If it's shells in Mario Kart, probably red. Texas Red Wales 1857 asks, will you make another Dead Train game video? I think I will, yes, and I'm honestly thinking that I might go from Roblox to mobile games, because there's actually quite a few dead mobile games that I've played that were train games, and honestly I think they would make really good videos, just because mobile games, I'm sure they're kind of an overused aspect, and one that we all know of, but not something we all think of, so you know, stay tuned for that. Formal FOMO asks, this is outstandingly important. Do you like red Leicestershire cheese? I've never tried it before, but I really want to expand my cheese palette, so if I ever see it in the store one day, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. Sounds interesting. This next question comes from Over Aviation, and they have 3 questions for me. Question 1. Have you ever taken part in anyone else's video, like Summer Whales video, or overall any type of video? Number 2. If you had to change / add something about Summer Whales, what would it be? Number 3. And finally, are you making a game? I've seen the studio videos, but I actually don't know if you made them or not. Well, to answer the first question, I actually have taken part in 2 videos. I collaborated with Rend for their Summer Whales Furious video, which came out quite recently and actually doing quite well. So I would suggest you check that out. I was helping part of the Furies, and I actually voiced a few parts. So yeah, I'm in there. A second video I actually did was, there was this person back in the day named Weaponized Toast, and they used to make this series called Summer Whales Geographic. They privated all the videos, but I was in one of their last videos that they ever made. I didn't really do much. They kind of just introduced me as like a new person of the cast, and I don't think I really did anything. I think I was in one of their videos, and I was kind of just like driving around making stupid comments, and it was like really bad. I don't think that video ever got released. I guess I'll ask him later. But yeah, I've been in 2 videos actually. If you had to change / add something about Summer Whales, what would it be? That's a good question. You know, I think I would probably just change... Honestly, I think I'd probably just change something like... I'd probably just change the rolling stock that we have in game to be more like realistic and less freelance, because I don't know, the freelance stuff of the old locomotives just looks so out of place. Like when you compare the old stuff to like the old locomotives, they almost feel exactly scaled. But like the freelanced vans just don't fit in the game with the other stuff. I don't know. I just don't really like the freelance stuff that much. I've been getting more used to it, but like I don't know, it's just not my personal favorite. And finally, are you making a game? I've seen the studio videos, but I actually don't know if you made them or not. I've actually made free games. I answered this before a few questions back, but the free games I made were Big City Row Scale, which was a game that was like kind of my first ever row scale game, full of free models, kind of garbage. I wouldn't recommend playing it unless of course you want to see my old stuff. The second game I made was Row Scale British Railway, which the only reason it existed is because I wanted to get rid of the British stock that was in Big City, so I made an entirely separate game for that, and somehow that game just blew up and is doing really well these days. I think it had like I once saw it had like a player count of 20, which is like the most impressive, like the biggest player count I ever had. And the final game I ever made was Yorkshire Estate Railway, which was an estate railway located in Yorkshire that had several narrow gauge locomotives on it, with a few of them being possibly similar to Summer Whales engines. You know, there was a bit of a, There was a bit of a similarity. But, yeah, I do mostly just studio. I also work for other games. I work for Nebula Games. I work for, Forestall Light Railway, which is a game owned by Neon Railfan, one of my friends, and I also work for Project Surfliner, which I forgot what the name of it. I think it's called Pacific Horizon Studios these days. I don't really do much. I built some coaches for it recently. Well, like last year. I haven't seen them in game yet, so expect they'll come soon. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. The final question to be asked is asked by Chloe453 again, and their question is: can you add Franny04 to friends? No. Oh boy, that was a lot of questions to answer. Quite a few repeat questions, but honestly, that was a pretty fun answering segment. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed the answers I gave. I'm glad I was able to get through everyone, because this video is going to be like almost 50 minutes long. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all later. Stay tuned for my new videos, which will probably be coming out around the time or have already come out. And yeah, see you all later. Have a good day.